they get the win Thursday. I keep waiting for some kind of a trap game, and it doesn't happen. You're getting this Bengals team beat up, banged up, and no Jamar Chase. So I don't know. Should we just have full confidence that they're not going to have one of those losses the rest of the way home here?
Well, I think you look at these teams that they're playing wounded, no real starting quarterback that's, you're scared of. I think if the Bengals had all their weapons plus Joe Burrow, it would be a completely different matchup versus what they're going to face. So, every single week, you can't control who's on the schedule. They give it to you at the beginning of the year. You have no idea what teams are going to look like 2 months into the season. So whoever's in front of you, chop them down. Go get the job done. So, you hear all this stuff. I think Cam Newton said something about the, bum schedule or week.
Fool's gold?
Yeah, fool's gold.
It has fool's gold written all over it.
With the guy with the top hat, says.
He's the new Shannon Sharp.
It's just, at the end of the day, you can't control your schedule, and you can't control what teams are going through IR, people that are hurt, the way that they're functioning. You just go out there, you perform, you win, you keep moving, and you try and learn from them. You try to learn from every single game. I mean, you learn from the losses, and you hope that when you get into the playoffs and it's a one-game season, you've learned a lot throughout the year. You know who your go-to guys are. Your quarterback's growing. He's getting better every single week. He looks like the MVP clear-cut right now. So you just want everyone to stay healthy because we all know when that injury bug hits, you don't know who it's going to be. And you just hope that the guys that are in place in the backup roles can step up.
Your side of the football, how big of a loss is Milton Williams, however long you're going without him?
Yeah, I mean, the one thing about interior, you can mix and match different pieces. You could bring in two guys that maybe are better at stopping the run. I think when you lose a guy that's an explosive pass rusher, that's difficult, but you can make up for that with scheme on who you're blitzing and are you bringing five. And especially when you're playing a team that has a quarterback that isn't like a check with me system. So if you were playing a more cerebral, Drew Brees or Tom Brady, and you try to bring five, they know where to go. You're playing somebody who hopefully you're like, okay, we can blitz, we can mix up our packages here, and they're really not going to be able to adjust on the run, on the fly, and check with me and do all those things that the real good quarterbacks do.
When the natural human reaction is to, I guess, compare things. So being a part of the dynasty, winning Super Bowls, what is similar to this team, this moment, to those Patriots teams? If anything.
I would say probably the lack of these big time named stars that in the past, every single year when we were winning Super Bowls, they would talk about, well, we need a true number one. And back when we were winning in 14 and 16, we had guys that were 3-star, 4-star guys. They weren't the number one overall picks, and they weren't the A.J. Browns. But guess what? When you have a collective group of guys that understand what they're doing and they do it at a high level, you're able to beat anybody in any given Sunday. So I like the way that this team has shaped mentally, and they kind of just continue to push forward. And defense, I feel like the defense week in and week out, they're doing well in the running game, so they're top in the league in stopping the run, which we all know when it's 3rd and 5 versus 3rd and 10, it makes a big difference statistically on your ability to make a first down. So I think they're doing a good job on P and 10, which is the first play of any series. Yes, granted, I know the first drive of every game isn't ideal. And but I think the last drive is probably the most important when you look at the overall outcome of these games. So they're going to continue to try and improve on that. I'm sure Vrabel's, beating up the podium when he's up there. We got to start faster defensively. We need a 3. You got to start 3 and out. We got to get the ball to the offense more.
I don't know. We asked him about it. He doesn't seem to. I mean, maybe.
Well, he's not. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem like it. He's just kind of like, oh, it is it. We go on and win the football game, so it is.
That doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't matter because they can score on every first drive, but as long as we score more points, it doesn't matter.
What happens after the first drive? What happens on the second,
exactly.
third, fifth drive?
Fifth. Yeah. Okay, what are we doing? Are we tightening up? Are we changing our scheme? Are we?
Generally, they tighten up.
Exactly.
Rob, I'm just curious because it's so wide open right now, and you played on those teams in the 2014-16 seasons. What do you think the spread would be if that 2016, call it, Patriots team faced this Patriots team? How much better is that team than this one?
Wow, what a hypothetical question here. I think our 2014 defense was really good, really good. And that's me being biased because I was a starter on that team. But give us 7.
Okay.
Give us 7
points.
Yeah.
You brought up what Cam Newton said. We asked Vrabel on Monday about if
Everyone's
he's going
got
to
an
use
opinion.
that as like a locker room material for the guys. He said no, that they don't really do that anymore. Do you believe him?
Yeah, I mean, in certain instances when people say stuff, you can't look at every single headline. Your head would be spinning.
Right.
So you just move past, you kind of laugh it off. Like, yeah, okay. We got a soft schedule. Great. We're still winning, and we're the top in the AFC. So, you can't control who you got to play. You just got to control your play on the field. So I'm assuming that he's being 100% truthful when he says he's not going to make it. I mean, because honestly, who's it coming from? It is what it is. People are going to try and make headlines. People are going to try and make splash comments, especially when they're on First Take or Get Up or all these shows where that's what the show's based on. It's
Clickbait.
Oh my Lord!
Oh my Atlanta.
I have prematurely announced the death of Paul Rogers of Bad Company.
He's screwed now.
I
How old is he?
I sincere apologies. The man is alive and well, and I'm sure singing.
Greg, I gotta tell you, you say you're a music expert, but whenever anybody Googles something you say, it's wrong.
75 years old.
Oh, Greg, you got to check that before you, because he's got a week.
Dead. Will he make it to Christmas?
I don't know.
Boy, I apologize to the Rogers family if any of them are listening.
He actually looks pretty good
He
for
look
75.
good for 75?
Yeah, I mean, there's pictures.
So did
of him.
Tom Petty.
Right.
He's a good set of hair. He's a nice beard.
Yeah.
Can we do the reverse of buying stock in baseball players, and when Greg kills a guy, we get them stock from their
I mean,
when they deceased?
to Greg's to be on Greg's side, there are a lot of artists. They're going down lately. So
Yeah,
But Greg kills them off.
I just
He has powers.
Sincere apologies. I need to think.
it's a good run. 75 is a good run.
He killed Ozzy Osbourne. I don't know if you know
No,
that.
I don't want to talk about
Tom
that.
Petty.
Sad.
Curtis, ask Rob your question from this morning about your preference when it comes to the playoffs.
Oh, yeah,
There's
so-
98% chance that this is a playoff team already. So.
Right. So, Nick, you get these two options. You get home field, but you play the Chiefs, or you go on the road to play the Colts.
I'm taking the Chiefs at home.
Really?
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Not
All right.
scared, baby.
There you go.
Listen, at some point you gotta slay the dragon. So this team, the Kansas City Chiefs, that is, they have some issues. That's why they're sitting where they're sitting. So if you
What is
have
it from
the
your
confidence,
perspective? Well,
I mean, I think it's a little bit of everything. You start the year, you lose your big target, running friendly fire on the field, lose him for a couple weeks. Some of the chemistry just doesn't seem right. I think their offensive line at times, was a little porous. So I'm taking a home field game. I want to play here in front of my own fans. I want to be at my stadium. I want to have my week of prep. I want to sleep in my hotel room. I want to do all the stuff that I'm used to doing. I don't want to jump on an airplane. I don't want to go to Indy. I don't want to go to St. Elmo's. Listen, I want to stay here. I'm going to get the week of prep done. I'm going to be confident, and that if you go out there and you do and execute the things that you could do at a high level, you're going to beat them. So
I'd much
that's
rather
football at the end of the day.
but
too.
I'd rather avoid the dragon and have to slay Cinderella, because
I
Daniel,
want to get to the top dogs first, and I
Yeah.
want to take them out, because
Well,
you take them out, then what?
No, we're talking AFC Championship. Daniel Jones, and the clock strikes midnight and he comes back down to earth versus at home AFC Championship game against Patrick Mahomes. Yeah.
But what about Mahomes this season?
No, I know it's this season.
Tells you that you that you need to be.
It's not about what he's doing this season. It's like, if Brady don't have a great season, would you rather play Scribini X or Tom Brady?
Scribini ass.
When I watch,
They
when
turn
I
it
watch
on.
Kansas
Right.
City play, I yell at the TV like an old fart screams at watching any sport.
I get
because
it.
I watch a team let Kelce run across the field in zone with no harassment at the line of scrimmage, nobody beating him up, nobody messing with him. You know what? I would say, hey, listen, we're going to tackle this guy from the hips down every time he gets the ball. We're going to beat his legs up because he's an older guy, and I'm not going to let him off the line of scrimmage. I'm going to have somebody chip him and mess with him and have him understand this isn't just going to be a walk in the park when you're running down the field scot-free. And we're not going to do these slip screens. I just saw him score a touchdown the other day. I'm like, listen, you let him off the line of scrimmage. Nobody's around him within 10 yards. He's a go-to guy, and these teams just still let it happen. So I would assume that our defense would understand who the go-to guys are, and we'd take care of it.
That was the one that got him the most in franchise history, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, they let him do that.
Oh, you're thinking now conspiracy?
No, but that's everybody, though. If you've ever watched Travis Kelce, I feel like every defense doesn't realize, like this guy is going to be a Hall of Famer. He's always wide open because I don't know what defenses do. They just let him.
They're in zone.
Yeah, Ninko's right. Give him a free release. They don't beat him up. And, he does a really good job of finding the soft spots in a defense. And him and Mahomes have this type of chemistry where he might be running a specific route and he'll just break his route off because he feels the soft spot and Mahomes will throw him the football.
Where does he fall on tight ends when it comes to quickness? Because he looks slow on TV.
I mean, he's definitely slower than he's.
Yeah.
He's a good athlete.
Yeah.
I'm not going to.
He leans on you, and it's not about quickness with him. It's about leaning on guys, setting guys up, understanding, like the soft spots, so it's not about being super quick.
Nothing aggravates me more than a 3rd and 5, and he spots up at 6.
I was able to make guys miss and get open with my wiggle.
True.
I wasn't very quick, but it was head and shoulder
Wiggle.
fakes.
Rest of the conference, does Denver scare you?
I don't like going to Denver.
Okay.
Denver is always the harder place to play, just based on the altitude. And I think back to the AFC Championship we had there in Denver.
Gostkowski ruined the season.
Gostkowski's the all-time points leader for the Pats. Take it easy.
Extra point.
Oh, the extra point.
The extra point. But
they
that
missed 2 of them?
particular game. Now this is just my thought. We go down to Miami the last week of the year.
You don't pass the ball.
We don't pass the ball. We lose that game. We would have had home field advantage, and it was a blizzard in New England that particular day.
Right.
We would have destroyed them. But we go to Denver. It's 70 degrees.
Yeah.
A crazy hot day. And I remember just in pregame warm-ups, I'm like, wow, this one's going to be a tough one because it was just sunny, extremely hot, and you're sucking oxygen on the sideline. And it was a tough game. I mean, those guys play really well at home. So, listen, at this point, when you have this many wins, you can't be afraid of anybody. You just say, all right, we got to go win this game. But I would like to see Denver here.
Yeah.
That
Not
4th
there.
and 10 pass to Brady to Gronk that got them within the to get the touchdown. They didn't get the 2-point conversion. Is one of the great throws of his life. He had 3 guys on him. He had Von Miller taking him to the ground. That was,
And then he tried to squeeze the 2-point conversion into him too afterwards. Yeah.
Yep.
See, the thing I look at is just, for me, when I look at the road, if you can avoid guys who have proven it, and you can't always do that. And so to answer kind of Curtis's question, I would much, because my guy hasn't done it either.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I know, and I've already told you, what the saying is, when those lights are bright,
Yeah.
booty holes
Well,
get.
back
playoffs
to
are- the
back to
playoffs
the
are-
checking the boxes off, like you've yet to check that box
Right.
off for Drake May.
So I'd rather go against Daniel Jones, who hasn't checked that box off either, versus a guy like Patrick Mahomes, who's checked that box a million times over.
Well, and you know this, but playing in the playoffs, everything steps up a little bit.
Yep.
Everyone's hitting harder. Everyone's understands the consequences of having bad plays and not winning those games. So, if you're playing the Colts, what's your number one goal? Like, what do you have to do number one when you play the Colts?
Stop the run.
Bang. What do you have to do number one playing the Chiefs?
You got to stop the pass.
And make sure who doesn't get out of the pocket.
Right.
There you go. No
Mahomes.
extended plays.
Yep.
Don't let them do all the stupid running around
Yep.
and making those crazy plays and, tiptoeing the sideline and acting like he's going out and give him 15. Those are just the complete different game plan mentalities you have to have. You go and play the Colts, you're like, all right, they can't run for over 100 yards.
Right.
You got to hold them to under 100. You play Kansas City, you're like, we can't let Mahomes win this
Right.
game.
But
Throwing
you
it to
know,
Kelce.
you know from being in the postseason, like I was, the first time around, everything is heightened. Like, so if you're down by 7, it looks like you're down by 17 because you're like, oh my God, the clock's running out. The clock's running out. Once the game's over, we're not going to have another. So, but when you've been there before, you know, like, all right, everything's good. We're still in this. And so when you start to look at a team like New England and a Drake May, who's never been there, if he gets down by 7 or 10, maybe he gets a little bit tighter. And he's
not Shime's quarterback, not our quarterback.
Well, I'm
Not Drake.
Not
Drake May.
I don't know.
Drake May. No, never.
I never seen him in the postseason where I know if Mahomes gets down by 10, he's not hitting the panic button. He's not getting super tight.